Hello, this is Nicole with Angelic Therapy and Healing, bringing you a general reading for the week of Monday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 29th. Yes, it is the end of October. We are very close to the end of the year. Hopefully we will all be ending it on an awesome note. So those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. Glad to have you here. Hopefully you will get something out of today's reading. For those of you that are loyal subscribers that have returned, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your comments, your shares. And just thank you for being so awesome. You guys are all very supportive. You're very positive. You're very uplifting. I appreciate all the support you give me. I also appreciate all the support that you give your fellow subscribers here. So we are all going through this awakening process together. So it's very uplifting and warms my heart to see you all helping each other and being supportive with each other. So thank you for that. Now, let's see. There were some questions about missions. I know in the last video there were some comments people were asking about, what's my mission? How do I know what my mission is? That's a great question. It's different for everyone. We all have different missions because, if we all did the same thing, we really wouldn't get anything done here. So what you'll find, some of you may be here to do grid work, and that may be your primary purpose as a light worker, especially when it comes to like twin flames. By doing grid work, that's, going to certain locations and helping people awaken in that area. So you may find that, you have vacationed or gone places for work and you have noticed a trend that there are some locations that, for most of your adult life that you have gone to those locations. And especially it's very common for twins. What they'll find and discover is that they both have gone to similar locations. That is because your mission, what you're doing when you go to those locations, is you are helping people in that area open up. You are helping them awaken. If you are a healer, you are also helping heal them. And early on in the process, you don't even realize that you're doing it. Now you may wonder, oh, why do I feel so sick? Why do I feel like I have the flu? Why do I feel like I went around these people at work or went to this class and went to this event and then I'm sick as a dog for 2 days? For some of you, that's because you're transmuting things for them. You're healing things for them. You're helping them release things. And that's your mission. That's what you get to do. You get to be slightly ill for a couple days to help other people heal that can't do it on their own. And some of you are also doing this for your family ancestral lines. So, you'll come into a family that has had a lot of, we'll say, colorful experiences. Could be traumatic experiences, but a lot of experiences. Some people come into a family where there's a lot of mental illness. Some people will come into a family that has been filled with, verbal abuse, physical abuse. But typically, especially twins, will come into families that have a lot of that stuff. But the reason that we incarnate in those families is because part of our mission is to heal our family lines, heal those ancestral bloodlines. And that's another thing that you just do automatically without even knowing it. So it comes through your empathy, your unconditional love, your compassion. And for some of you, that's your mission. That's the work that you're doing. You're doing grid work, you're doing family healing, you're doing healing of people around you. It's automatic. All you need to do is just continue going about life. So for some of you, you're worried like, am I supposed to be out ministering to people or doing readings or healing or yoga or motivational speaking? Because, I've got this 9-to-5 banking job and I'm just not feeling guided to do anything else. Well, that's your mission. You continue to do your banking job. And then on a spiritual soul level, the mission that you're doing is that work that you're doing automatically. But whatever it is that you're called to do it. Because again, it's different for everyone. So if you're called to visit a location, go do that. How I was mentioning like twins, you'll go to repeated locations. It's interesting because looking at my life, there's a number of locations that I've gone repeatedly in my life. Southern California, Texas, Alabama, Southern Florida down the West Palm Beach area, Nashville, and of course, living here in Ohio. But there are some other locations overseas and such, and out west, that I have been at repeatedly. Funny thing, my twin has been at those locations as well repeatedly. So don't get discouraged if you're like, well, I'm not interested in taking any classes. I'm not interested in getting any licenses or certificates. I'm not interested in doing spiritual work, but man, I sure do have the urge to go out to Denver. Go do that. Whatever you're being called to do, do it. For those of you that are being called to take a class, take the class, because that class could evolve into some spiritual work that you're going to do. Like when I took my first class with Doreen Virtue, I show up in California to take this class. All I wanted to know was how to understand my angel's messages, and that's how it was advertised. And I get there and they tell us how they're going to be taking roll call throughout the whole thing. And if we're not there at these different points, we won't receive our certificate. And I asked the woman next to me, certificate for what? And she said, well, to be angel card readers. I'm like, angel card readers? What would we do with that? And she said, well, we would start our business. I'm like, business? Ha! I'm not starting a business. I'm not doing readings for people. I just want to understand these messages that I'm getting for myself. So fast forward a number of years, here we are. So some of you are feeling the nudge to take a class. Take the class. It's not going to make sense to you right now, but it will down the road. And some of you could even just be something simple, like go help your neighbor. Maybe you see them outside struggling to plant some flowers. Go over and help them, because you might have an opportunity to show them some compassion, love. Maybe they're going through a very difficult time in life and they need someone that's going to inspire them, help lift them up. And you'll have that opportunity to minister and help them and give them that compassion and love and an uplifting message that they need. So whatever it is, big or small, do it. And for some of you, you're even being like guided and you're getting pushed to do some things that sound kind of weird and quirky. Like, okay, good, it's recording. Like go buy food and supplies and water. If you're being guided to do that, go do that. So whatever it is, listen to your team. They're there to help you. As long as you're listening to the different things that you're being guided to do, you are doing your mission. And there's nothing to worry about with it. Okay? Now, some of you aren't yet doing some spiritually founded mission yet. But that is only because you're still working on your own balance. Especially if you're a twin, it's balance is vital. Twins can't come into union until they're both balanced. And that balance is not just, balancing our masculine and feminine energies that we have inside. So what you'll find with divine masculine, they have been in touch with their feelings since they were young. Now, unfortunately, in our culture, the way that we have been raised, which is changing, we are changing that paradigm. Good, we need to, it needs to happen. But men, it's always kind of looked on as though they shouldn't share their emotions. They shouldn't share their feelings. They shouldn't break down and cry because they have to be the man. But divine masculine, because they've always had that balance, they would cry. They would show their true emotions, even despite it being encouraged. And some of them had struggles when they were younger because of that. But that's because they are in perfect divine balance. Divine feminine. Some of divine feminine feel kind of bad because they're in divine balance, so they're masculine and feminine, so they're not overly mushy. Like, go to pick out a card, I can't get something that's over the top, mushy, gushy, that's just way too much. Well, that's because divine feminine has balanced her masculine energies. And it's something that's been there since very early on. So for most of you, those energies are balanced. But what they're trying to do to take you to that next step for your mission, they're trying to help you get everything in balance with the emotional healing. So there's still some healing that has to be done. And I know some of you have been asking about, okay, where do I go? What do I do for this healing? There is, if you live in Ohio, there's actually, and I'll post some information below, so look in the comments below. I've already posted something on my Facebook page, but there is this healing weekend that's going to be this weekend. It runs Thursday, October 26th through Sunday, the 29th. It is in Springboro, which is in the Dayton area, heading toward the Cincinnati area. So if you're anywhere within driving distance, you can get there. But it is at the White Dove Circle. And it's an awesome opportunity to get healing, because what they're doing, they're trying to introduce people to these integrated healing modalities to show people the power that it has in healing your emotional, spiritual, and physical bodies. So what they're doing is they're giving these amazing prices. So it's only for most sessions, you're looking at $40 to $45, which is unheard of. I mean, you aren't going to get a healing session or a reading or anything for that cheap of a price. But they're doing it to offer to the community to help people realize that these things are there for them. So if you're in the area and you can drive, they're going to be doing this special drumming circle, and there's scientific information backing that the beats, the rhythm, the music with drums helps with our immune systems. It boosts our immune system. It reduces our stress. It improves our mood. It gets us into a better state mentally. So they're going to be doing that. That is free to the community. That Thursday night, they're going to be doing group channeling. But then they also have all these awesome sessions. So you can go have some shamanic healing or go have a reading. You can have healing done on your pets. They're offering iridology. And iridology is not cheap. It's actually something that used to be taught in medicine in all the medical schools, even Harvard. They removed it in the 50s because it doesn't make big pharma money. Because what iridology does is they look in your eyes, and they're able to tell by looking in your eyes what health problems that you're having. They're also able to identify, based on current physical status of your body, what are some potential physical conditions or ailments you could have in the future. And the reason that they do that is to identify, A, what's the core problem right now, so that they can heal it, solve it naturally, and also be able to tell, okay, if you continue on this current path, here's what you could have happen in the future. So here's how you combat that and keep that from happening. So it's all about, curing, keeping you off a bunch of medication and keeping you from having health problems, which is why they don't teach it anymore. But doctors of naturopath, they actually do that. It's very expensive. I have had it once. It was $170 for 1 hour. You can go get some iridology for only $40. I think she's charging $40 or $45 for it. Unbelievable. They're also doing Reiki, and it's amazing. So for those of you that keep asking about healing, if you are anywhere close and you can make the drive to the Dayton, Ohio area, that will be the time frame for you just to go and get all types of love and healing, and it would be, for some of you, it would be life-changing. So there is that opportunity. Now, why are they saying it is time? They keep saying it is time. Okay, so for some of you, it's time for you to do some healing. So some of you, they're saying that you are in a catch-22 situation where you feel as though like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So there's something that you need to be moving forward on, taking action on, but you're not doing it. Some of you aren't doing it out of fear, out of worry. Some of you are just worn out. But they're saying just do it already. Do it. Do something. Because many of you that are in this situation, you're not doing anything about it. It's almost as though you're burying your head in the sand because you just don't want to deal with it. But in order for you to get unstuck, some of you have been unstuck for a very long time, way past time for you to do something. You need to do something. You have to do something. What is that song? They're singing a song to me. The tension is here between who you are and who you could be, between how it is and how it should be. Okay. The song, sorry you guys all had to listen to my singing while I'm trying to figure out what is the song they're singing to me. Dare You to Move by Switchfoot. It's time for you to move. It's time for you to do something. In order for you to completely change your life, you have to do something. Some of you, there are conversations that you have to have. For some of you, there are relationships that you have to end. For some of you, there are job changes. These are big things, but because the action hasn't been taken in that area, all areas of your life are stuck. Things could be beautiful for you. Things could be exactly as you envision, and for most of you, better than what you envision. But it requires you doing something. They're saying many of you feel as though you have been rock bottom, like laying on the floor, rock bottom. Everything in life has come to a screeching halt. You're feeling stuck. You have a lot of fear and worry and doubt, some depression. But you have to lift yourself up off the floor and do something, move forward, take some action. Because it is that action, doing something, moving forward. Some of you, it's making a decision to leave all those shenanigans behind. But you've got to do that because things will not move forward until you do. So for some of you, they're saying like you keep praying for a miracle, you keep hoping for a miracle. The miracle is they've given you all the signs. For some of you, they've already laid the foundation to bring you the things that you desire. But you're the one that's holding your miracle back because you're not taking any action. Some of you feel, okay. Some of you feel like, oh my gosh, God, why did you, okay. You feel as though, okay, God, why have you taken this all from me? Why have you brought me to rock bottom? That has happened in order to help you build things up. So, in order to build you a beautiful castle, what they have to do is they had to tear down this dated, mold-filled, moss-ridden structure that you had. It was all rickety, had stairs falling apart, ghetto-tastic, nails popping out everywhere. You'd walk up and down your stairs, they would break, snap, not supporting you. They had to tear down that structure. They had to remove that. They had to remove that person, that situation, in order to bring you the team. So you've got your crew, you've got your team there. They've got all the building supplies to build you this castle, this dream home, this dream foundation that you've been hoping for, longing for, praying for. But the team can't get started until you finally make the decision to take all that rubble from your past residence, your past foundation, the past things that gave you stability, security, and happiness, and sweep all that up. So when you sweep up all that debris, all that mess of things falling apart, falling down, crumbling down, as soon as you make the decision to sweep all that up, they'll be able to start building your new home, your new foundation, your new security. They've got the miracle, they've got the team, they've got it all lined up, but you have got to do something. So, okay, let's see here. For those of you that are interested, cards that we're using today, we are using Tony Carmine Salerno's Angels, Gods, and Goddesses, Doreen Virtue's Angel Therapy, Denise Lynn's Gateway Oracle cards, and then Angel Prayers by Kyle Gray, clarifiers that you've got. We're using the Crystal Visions Tarot, and I have the Gilded Lenormand's shuffled and ready to go. When praying and shuffling all the cards and preparing, I did ask that each of you receives at least one message, so hopefully you'll get something. Hopefully it wasn't just in the intro. Okay, let me make sure you can see these. Outstanding. Okay, so they're saying this is the past, present, future. Move these down a little bit. Okay. So in the past row, that's pretty neat. I have never pulled this card. I know that this card is in the deck. I'm so excited because I've never pulled it. And you guys get it today. What a way to end the month of October. Okay. So in the past, you have the unknown card, the Sun, Queen of Swords. And then for the present, you have the Page of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, and reverse, 10 of Cups. You have in the future the 10 of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and then the Death card. And then as the overall energy for this reading, you have the Lovers. But when I went to put this down, they told me, nope, this is reversed as well. Okay, so let's see here. There are two 10s, and 10s are indicative of endings. Ending of a relationship in this case. As much as I would love to make this reading about work and give you some information about work, this is definitely a love reading. And for those of you that are new to tarot, we've got, the Lovers, 10 of Cups, and then their chitter chatter in my ear. So that's the only repeaters. There are two Queens, and those are two different people. So for some of you, this is, you are a man and you are trying to choose, not even trying to choose between two women. One is not in your life. But there are two key women in your life. The choice is connected to that one. But there are two women. And for those of you as you're listening to this, I'm going to stick with the sexes that I'm being given and seeing, but this could be reverse. It is a general reading. So if this sounds like your story and you're a female and you've got two men, or it could be same sex, if it sounds like it's your situation, it's your situation. Go with it. Okay. The unknown card. So this card, it's all about, answers having not been revealed to you yet. There's things that you don't know, something that you don't fully understand, but something that will soon be illuminated. You see she's holding on to her crystal ball there, and the crystal ball is like, it's kind of like cloudy. Like she really can't see, but if she holds on to it long enough and keeps focusing on her question, what it is that she needs to know, what she needs clarity on, it will clear up and it will give her answers. But this is also, some of you, there's an area in your life that still needs to unfold. There are some additional steps that need to be taken in order to move forward, in order to clarify everything, in order to see the big picture. There's something that you need to take a deeper look at, a closer look at. And there's something also that you need to move forward with an open mind, not being so closed off, closed-minded, not having the biases and the blocks. For many of you, it's tied to that Queen of Swords. Okay, you have the Sun, and this is a major arcana. So for those of you that are not familiar with Tarot, there are two major arcanas. The rest of them are the minors. And of course, you got the quartz. But the thing to know about major arcanas, is you have one here, and then you have the Death card. Those are things that are destined, things that are fated, things that are really kind of out of our control. But they always lead to positive things. I mean, even the Death card. The Death card, yeah, you have things end. Complete, utter destruction, complete ending, finality. But it's so that there can be new things come in, better things. So for those of you, that example they were given earlier of the castle, they want to build you a beautiful castle. But to do that, you've got to let the old rubble, the shack that you had, fall apart. But sometimes we have a really hard time letting something go. They will step in and they will just take care of it for us. So there are some things that they're trying to step in that's divinely guided, that is big, that is going to change your life. You have these two major arcanas. You've got the Sun, and this is beautiful. This card is all about, enlightenment, finding the truth, deeper meaning, deep insight. This is, things that encourage you and uplift you and inspire you and bring you joy and happiness. You see, she's in this field of sunflowers. She's playing with her child. She's like delighted. She's fulfilled. This is all about life being filled with joy and happiness, fulfillment, and bliss. This is about confidence, positive, good health. It's about personal glory, satisfaction. It's also about, obtaining the things that matter in life, the things that are really important. You can have all the money in the world and still be miserable, still be sad, still be lonely, still be depressed. Because that's not what fulfills your heart. That doesn't bring you happiness. That's not what really matters. It's the love, it's the connections with people. Then you have the Queen of Swords. It's not looking like a whole bunch of love in this card though, because she's got her back turned on that. And the Queen of Swords, she's someone that is stern, but she's also feminine. She thinks and makes decisions with her head, not her heart, but she does it in a very compassionate way, a very loving way. She's very fair, she's honest, she's wise, she's balanced, she's forthright. She values honest communication. See, she's got her sword drawn, so she's ready. If she has to do battle, she'll do battle, but she prefers to not do battle. She prefers to have peace. And if you see up here, you see she's like got all these clouds and all these clouds, but there's this break right there in the clouds. That's hope. She's the hope. It's interesting. Because for some of you, they're saying she wasn't receiving honest communication. She didn't have the clarity. You've got all these clouds. And because of that, not having clarity, because of not also having her needs met, she has cut off her emotions to the masculine, to the man who has two ladies. But typically this would be, the cloud's clear. Typically that would be she still has hope. But they're saying that's not the case. She doesn't have hope anymore. She's given up hope. She started focusing on transitioning elsewhere. You see all these butterflies surrounding her? She's focused on her own transmutation, her own, like changing her life, transforming her life, new beginnings elsewhere. Now, she's not totally focused forward. That would be her totally focused on the future. She's staring straight forward, but her body's facing the future. The sword is facing the future. She's moving forward. But they're saying she was your hope. She was your hope to have the things that you desired. And that is what, for some of you, the thing that is unknown. Because you are not talking with her. So for some, the Queen of Swords is, in this instance, she is the forsaken woman. She is the woman who has been abandoned. She's the woman that has been left behind. You did not choose her, you chose someone else. But what you are unaware of, what you do not know, is that she was your hope to bring you bliss, joy, happiness, and all these things that you desire that would fulfill you. Some of you were being very close-minded toward her. It's funny, some of you, she was your, got these two candles. Some of you don't realize she was actually, and is, it doesn't go away, she's your twin flame. You have two twin flames. But some of you are actually going to be discovering that in the future. You didn't know the significance that she held in your life. You didn't know that she was the key to transforming your life. And although she's in the past, because you're not together, you're not talking, she has moved on. She didn't want to, but she did, because she had no choice. But again, although she's in the past, some of you are going to be receiving some enlightenment, some illumination is going to be shed on the situation. For some of you, you have, they're saying for some of you, you have recently started to receive that illumination, and you're like, oh crap, I really messed up, and I don't know how to fix it. But that could be why they were playing that song in my head that you guys had to listen to my singing on. Do something, move. For some of you, before it's too late. Okay. Now, in the present, we start off with the Page of Wands. They're saying this is an energy. And this is all about, someone who's very creative. They think outside of the box. They look at new beginnings, new adventures with like enthusiasm, excitement. It is a young energy, not necessarily the most mature energy. This was information. So So some information came in that burst your bubble. What I find interesting is she has this dragon around her. So when I do healing work, sometimes people have attachments. Sometimes people have souls and things taking up residence in their body. They need to have a depossession. And the very darkest of things is always these reptilian looking things. And it's interesting because they're, Allie, shh. So my neighbor is walking their dog. Sorry. She likes, at 3 pounds, she likes to let people think that she is the alpha dog. Okay, she's calmed down. So what's interesting, you've got this dragon. So when these reptilians, and they're very, very dark. So, we have these images in movies and such that are the demons and the dark and demonic. No, they're actually reptilian looking things. They look like dragons is what they look like. They have a stature of like a human. They have arms. They stand upright, but they have scales. They have tongues that look like snakes. Sometimes they blow fire, but they look like a mix of a snake and a dragon and a human. That's what they look like. She's leaning on this scaly red dragon. Some of you received some information that burst your bubble about some lies and deception and things that were happening by a lover. And so you tried to move forward from that lover. You have the 8 of Pentacles, and you see her, she's focused on trying to spin some gold. And this is about someone really working hard to develop a skill, to master their skill. Paying a lot of attention to detail. See, she's really focused on what she's doing. This is about being willing to learn, persevering, staying totally focused on the work that you're doing constantly. Not wavering from that. But you have this wheel. So for some of you, you receive this information that burst your bubble. For some of you, it's about this Queen of Pentacles. And for some of you, it broke your heart. You were thinking that this was love, things were going to move forward, things were going to be okay, things were going to come out all peachy. But they didn't. And for some, it was a karmic thing. It was meant to end. It was. But you've still been holding on. You haven't totally let it go. You haven't. You've been clinging. They've been clinging. But you've been putting your focus elsewhere. You've been putting your attention elsewhere. So for some of you, you've just been putting the grind in at work. You're working all the time. For some of you, you may have jumped into another relationship. You've got these 3 candles. You've got these 3 lily pads. So for some of you, you may have brought another lady into the mix. Because you turned your back on this deception. You turned your back on her. But not completely. Not completely. Now, for those of you that are interested in signs, I'm going to throw the signs out there. But bear in mind, that their signs could be different than what you think. So, Queen of Pentacles, those are Earth. So this could be a woman who is a Capricorn, a Virgo, or a Taurus. Then you have air, and that is Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. The thing to keep in mind, we all have a sun sign, a moon sign, a rising sign, okay? Oftentimes when people listen to readings for their astrological sign, they'll oftentimes find that, their rising sign was resonating more than their sun. So our sun sign is the main sign that we all know. So for me, I'm a Scorpio. That's my sun sign. However, my moon sign is Sagittarius. My rising sign is Aquarius. So for some of you that, when I throw out signs occasionally, and I only do it when they tell me to, because when they tell me to throw out signs, it's because there's a couple of you out there that need to hear the signs. But for the rest of you that kind of gets you worried because it's not your sign, you're not sure, and oh my gosh, no, it's just throwing in the whole story because I'm not a Capricorn or I'm not a Gemini. It's not to do that, because keep in mind, we all have a sun, a moon, a rising, okay? So you may not know or that person may not know that your rising sign is an air sign or your moon sign is an earth sign. So don't get too wound around the axle about that. When I do throw out signs, it's just because there's a small number of people out there that do have to hear it, because it's some confirmation that they need. But for the rest of you, that's why when I go over court cards, I give the characteristics of the people in this story. I have had some questions of people like, well, the king of air is also this and this and that. When doing the readings, I'm not going to give you all their characteristics. That's going to cause you confusion. I only give you the characteristics that I'm being given during the reading that are about the specific people in this situation. And that helps people know if it's their situation or not, and then hopefully help give them some guidance on how they can proceed forward to get out of it. Because let's be honest, if you're listening to these readings, you're not in a good spot. We listen to readings because we need help. That's why. We need help. So I don't want to just cover, oh, well, here's the storm that you're in right now, and oh, that really sucks. But also provide, well, here's what you're going through, but here's what you can do to fix it, okay? So in order to do that, although these are general readings, they're not so general that they're going to touch on everybody. They're just not. They're meant to touch on the people that need to hear these messages and need to know what they can do to move forward and progress, okay? So don't get worried about the signs. 10 of Cups. Now, upright, this is a beautiful card. This is just everything that you want in love. This is joy, peace, fulfillment, happiness, a family. The perfect blend, perfect balance. This truly is your happily ever after card. See, he's hugging her, she's hugging their child, but it's reverse. And in reverse, this is all about disharmony. A couple that is incompatible. A couple where one partner is more committed than the other, or one partner is looking at the situation through rose-colored glasses. They're not seeing things for what they truly are. They're delusional. They have this picture in their head, but that's not really what the situation is. And again, this is presently, what's presently going on. So for some of you, the lies, the deception, stuff, your bubble that was burst, the person that you're not talking with is the Queen of Pentacles. You have been hoping that things would turn around. You've held on to some faith that, okay, well, maybe it'll change. Maybe it'll turn around, which is why you've not completely let her go. This stuff came to the light, it came out because it was intended to end this, but it didn't. You may be focused on work, you may be working really hard, but some of you are still holding on to this faith that maybe we're going to get this happy family. Maybe it's going to turn to that, but it's not. It's fated to fall apart. It's meant to fall apart. It's simply a karmic lesson. So for some of you, you need to go get some healing work done. Some of you, there's soul contract work that needs to be done, a soul contract that needs to be canceled. Some of you could be a dark soul that has their grip on you. I mean, with work I do, the stuff that happens, I know it sounds totally spiritual and woo-woo for some of you, but those of you that are twins that are out there and soulmates and light workers, it makes sense. If there's someone that has a bit of a darker soul, because there are people that at a soul level, they are reptilians, they are darker. They will have a hold and a grip on you, and you will repeatedly return to them no matter how ugly they are to you, no matter how nasty they are to you, no matter how much they steal from you, lie to you, cheat on you, cut you down verbally, for some even abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse. No matter what they do to you, you keep bouncing back. You keep going back, and then you think, what in the hell is wrong with me? Why do I keep doing this to myself? Am I a masochist? Do I really enjoy this? But you don't. You want a happy family. You don't want the misery that this person has caused you the whole time. But the reason you keep going back is because there is a spiritual connection that has to be broken. There's a soul contract that needs to be ended, because for some of you, this person is dark and they have their grip on you. And the only way you're going to be able to get that grip gone is to go get some help. Now, you can always pray. If it's something that's small, I mean, let's be honest, even big things, if it's time, they'll come in and take care of it. But you can pray, God, Jesus, Archangel Michael cuts cords, he cuts connections, he will help you end soul contracts. Archangel Raphael will do the healing of your heart, because some of you need some heart healing. But call on them. I need help. I need you to finally break me free of these shenanigans. Help me finally let her go. I have finally taken off these rose-colored glasses, because these shenanigans are not working. I am not happy. I am miserable. And I need to break free. So please help me. Help me break free. Help me heal my heart so I can finally move forward and get this elsewhere. So I can finally have that team come in and start building this dream castle of mine. A foundation that will stand the test of time. Because that old rickety cottage that I shared with her, that stuff has been blown to the wind. We don't even have a roof anymore. I walk in and I get buckets of rain on my head. Help me get this gone. Help me end this for good. Some of you, that prayer will work. For others of you, you're going to need a little bit of help. And that's why there are tons of healers out there. There are shamans. There are Reiki masters. There are quantum touch practitioners. That's what I do. But there are many of them out there. And they can break you free of this. So then you don't have the urge to go back anymore. So you're like, wow, I don't want to be pulled back in again to be burnt. Some of you keep repeatedly getting burnt. It's like this toxic relationship, this toxic cycle that you keep staying on. Some of you, it's time to get some help. Get some help. What you're doing is good, because for many of you, this is your present situation. So for many of you, you're not with her right now. You're not. And they are congratulating you on that, because you have tried to separate yourself, but you haven't completed the separation. So for some, it could be, maybe you are waiting on a divorce proceeding to go through. Some of you, it could be you owned a business together. You're waiting on the decision to come through, your assets to be split up. For some of them, you maybe just owned a bunch of property and investments, and you're waiting for those to be split up. But for those of you in this situation, they're saying like there's some steps that you have been avoiding doing. So you haven't been calling your attorney. You haven't been signing your paperwork. You've just been ignoring it, hoping it'll go away. Some of you hoping it's going to change, but it's not. So it's time to sign the paperwork. It's time to call the attorney. It's time to get this done so you can move forward into some happiness. For others of you, you have done the part of not talking, separating, trying to move away, but you still have that connection. You still have that cord. You still have that karmic cycle. Again, this is the center. So this is the center of the situation. The center is you still have this karmic tie. You see, she's weaving this golden strand. You're trying to create something golden. You've been trying, many of you, for years and years and years. You've been trying to create something, but it's not going to happen. Your needle keeps breaking. You keep pricking yourself and bleeding all over the product you just created, and then you have to throw it out and start back over again. You keep going in this cycle with them over and over and over. To break that cycle, some of you have got to get some help from a healer. For those of you that's applicable, it's not going to sound spiritual woo-woo out there. You know you need to make a call and go see someone. And you'll find, just ask your team. Again, pray, God, Jesus, angels, where do I go? Who should I go see? And they will lead you to who you need to see. And then if you're still not certain, say you find a name of, Deborah Jones, and you're out driving around, you're like, okay, God, Jesus, Archangel Michael, I think you wanted me to go see this woman named Deborah Jones, and she's a shaman. So if you want me to go see her, can you please give me a physical sign? And they will go ahead and deliver. So if you within seconds, especially when you're driving, they're very quick to give you signs. If you have an immediate sign, maybe you see a billboard, you have an animal or bird almost at your car, that would be your yes. And you have to make it yes or no. You just can't say, well, I'm wondering if I should or should not go see. Well, that's not a good way to pose your question. If you're wanting them to give you a sign, it needs to be clear. If yes, I should go see her, give me a sign. If no, I should not go see her, give me a sign. But you have to be clear with your questions so they can give you clear answers. And then they'll oblige you. They'll give you an answer. And then take the action. Because what that's going to do, in the future, you have this 10 of Wands. You see him, he's riding this poor beat down horse up this hill in the desert, up toward the sun, and he's just tired. He can't handle it. He needs a break. This is all about feeling burdened, overwhelmed. You're struggling to make it. This horse is struggling to get up this hill. He's like, get off me and start carrying some of the load. Start carrying some of the load. It's about taking on more than you can handle. Sometimes this can also be someone that's like a workaholic. They like that workaholic mentality where they feel as though they have to, everything's always a struggle for them. Everything's always hard. They're constantly having to work. Nothing comes easy in my life. Well, nothing's coming easy in your life because you keep trying to go for something that's not meant to be. That's why. This is about resistance. It's about fighting an uphill battle. The reason this has been so freaking hard for you is because she is not meant for you. Stop trying to make it work. Stop. It's time to drop the load. For some of you, this partner, she wasn't carrying any of the load. You were carrying the load. You always have been carrying the load. You've always been trying. You've always been struggling up that hill to make it work. To make it work with her. You've been giving it everything you have. And some of you, it's almost like you feel you've invested so much. You're like, I refuse to give up. Damn it, I have spent years and thousands of dollars, and I will be darned if I'm going to give up on this. I am not giving up. I've invested too much. Some of you, it's also about money. You don't want to lose money. You don't want to lose any money. You're like, okay, if we finally go through splitting this stuff up, I'm going to lose half my assets. But is that better than being chained to the devil? Is money worth it? Because for those of you in this situation, you've been this poor beat down horse trying to go up that hill for years. You've been trying so hard to make it work. You've been the only one putting in the work. She hasn't put in the work. You have put in the work. In relationships should be balanced. They should both be carrying the load. She should be on a horse next to him with half the load, and then it wouldn't be as difficult. But she's not sharing the workload. You are single-handedly taking the workload on. You're being a martyr. You're doing it on purpose, taking it on purpose. For some of you, it's almost like an image thing. Like, you see these feathers? Feathers on that horse. It's almost like you've been trying so hard because you like want success. You want this feather in your cap. So, you know, the feather in the cap thing, when Indians, they would, years ago, or anyone that would be a hunter, they would go out and they would, you know, if they were successful in killing, succeeding, they would take a feather and put it in their cap, and they would come back to the tribe, and they would have this feather in their cap to show that, oh my gosh, I had success. Look at what I did. Look at my accomplishment. Recognize me. You have not been recognized by her for the sacrifice that you've made. You have not had success with her. You have had nothing but hardship with her. She has not put a feather in your cap. She has given you all of her bags, all of her baggage, all of her problems, all of her heartache, all of her financial troubles, and she has let you single-handedly carry that over and over and over again for naught. She hasn't helped with anything. You're a giver, she's a taker. But even that has to be balanced. Sometimes we need to take. Sometimes we need to give. You know, relationships are not always exactly 50-50. They're not. Sometimes you're going to be given 80%. Your partner's going to be only given 20%. But other times, well, you're going to be taking 90% and only giving 10%. But that's because when you are in balance with each other, when you truly love each other unconditionally, when when the relationship is built on the correct foundation, you balance each other out. When one needs more, the other one gladly gives to the other. I love you so much, baby. Let me do this for you. Let me take that load off of you. Can I help you? But then it could be a couple months later, they're like, honey, I need help. Can you please help me? I'm drowning. But they go back and forth. They balance each other out. There is no balance. For those of you in this situation, there is no balance. There has been no balance. Why are you fighting for it? That's what you need to ask yourself. Why are you fighting for this? Because for some of you, this is a same story that we've been hearing week after week after week after week. What is it that you're not accepting? Why is it that you are clinging to this? Because again, this is fighting an uphill battle. You keep trying. Why? Why when it's so clear? I know I'm tired of hearing this story every week. I'm sure many of the listeners are tired of hearing this exact same story week after week. So you surely are tired, I'm sure, of living this story week after week. So why? Why aren't you making changes? Why do you want this pit of misery? Why don't you want to be happy? Why don't you want sunshine and joy and bliss and happiness? Why? Really take a look at that. And some of you are about to, and some of you are starting to. Those of you that are, they're saying also some of you have actually already thought the whole thing through. You know it's not good. You know you want to be free. You don't know how to do that. Some of you, you even know, I've got that team of they're about to build my castle for me to live happily ever after with someone else. But you're like, ooh, I can't call it off here, and I can't call the team in here, and I don't know what to do. That would be why they're saying do something. You have a whole team there to help you. And those of you that have thought through, they're saying for some of you, most of you, it's just, you just need to take action. You just need to do something. Just do something. For others of you, there are some things that so for some of you, it's simply conversations. For others of you, it is some healing assistance work. But they're saying that those of you that have already been thinking about it, you know what it is that you need to do. It's just you have to do it now. That's all. You have to set yourself free. Queen of Pentacles, upright. She would be someone that's, very practical, very down to earth. She would be business minded, very financially minded, financially savvy. She'd be very resourceful. She'd be warm and welcoming. But in reverse, she is not kind or generous. She is not warm and welcoming. She would be very superficial, very materialistic. Totally focused on her status and her wealth. And she would be giving you the cold shoulder. She would also, you know how she's the forsaken woman. She would be the ill-natured, spiteful woman. And for some, she's not satisfied with the relationship. She's dissatisfied. She doesn't want this relationship. For many of you, she doesn't want anyone else to have you either. You see, she's got this dress on, green with envy. So for many of you, this relationship has been fraught with a bunch of jealousy. Well, come on. Hold on one second. Let's get Miss Allie up here. Come on. That'll keep her from barking. Maybe she'll fall asleep in my lap. Okay. So for many of you, this relationship has been filled with jealousy on both ends. And see how she's wearing a mask? It just kind of looks like scales. See how it kind of matches the scales on that dragon? She's the one that's lied to you and deceived you. She's the one that repeatedly pulls you in. Most of you for money. It's money reasons. She's masked. She has not been honest. She has not been forthright. She has hidden her true intentions. She has done things behind your back in secret. She is fully clothed. So interesting. When you read the book on these cards, these crystals are supposed to be representative of the ladies in waiting. So when it comes to, royalty or royal court, you would have these ladies in waiting, and they would help you dress, they would help you get ready, they would help you prepare for the day. They're kind of like your maids, your servants. They're there to do your bidding. And she is sitting here surrounded by those prepared to do her bidding. She has looked at you as though you are a servant, you are a maid, you are there someone to do her bidding. You are there to carry her load, financially, emotionally, mentally, but she will not let you in. For years, she won't let you in emotionally. She's very guarded. She doesn't want you, but she will refuse to let anyone else have you. So for some of you, there have been games of jealousy. So for some of you, jumped into this other relationship in hopes that you'd make her jealous. She'd want to come back then. But it's kind of a sick and twisted relationship. You see this twisted tree? It's twisted. It's sick. It's toxic. It's poisonous. It is not a good relationship. Even this, well, isn't that interesting? I was going to say even her staff is twisted, but that's a snake. She's a snake. She's a snake. And snakes in the Golden Tarot, snakes are very selfish. They represent someone that's selfish. They represent someone who is self-absorbed. They represent someone who is a very jealous and controlling person. But for some of you, it's also the snake and the staff that she's holding, sexual control. Some of you, she has controlled you by sexually manipulating you, charming you with sex. But she sees you as someone that's there to do her work and do her bidding. She won't let you in. She continually lies to you. She does things behind your back. She will pull you in repeatedly over and over and over with sweet words and false promises and empty promises. But she's non-committal. She's not going to commit. She hasn't. Because I think for some of you, you were married. Or some of you could be going through divorce now. But even when you were married, she wasn't all in. She really didn't want to be around you all the time. She really wanted you to have your life and her to have her life. Some of you even want to be in different areas, different locations, geographical locations, because she was not committed. She was not all in. She wasn't. Okay, then we have the Death card. And this is the exit card. This is the ending. So this is... Okay, so this is the outcome. Okay. Death. And this is a major arcana. Again, this is something that's fated. You have a whole lot of team help in here. But this is about the complete ending of something. But in order to have something new and beautiful, in order to have like this... I mean, look at the Sun card. In order to have total fulfillment and joy and happiness and things that you desire, in order to have this family, because those of you in the situation, you do want a family, you do want stability, you do want true love, you do want to share your life with someone who is a partner, who will carry the load, who will help. You want that. They're trying to bring you that. But the step to bringing you that is you will not get that until you let this go. You have to let this go. They're going to help you let it go. But the Death card is beautiful as in, yeah, it's endings, it's death, it's completion, it's total completion. But as soon as it's completed and done, you get something new. You get a change. You get to go down a different path. And you see on this tombstone, that says life is changed, not taken away. So for some of you, you've tried to make this work for so long that you fear like, okay, losing her, losing this that I've invested so much in, it will be the death of me. It will be the end of me. This hope that I had in love, I had this hope for so long that it would work with her. And for many of you, you've totally been deceived by her because, again, she's wearing a mask. She has deceived you. She has lied to you. She has not shared her true intentions. All she's pulled you in for your help, for your assistance, carry my stuff, help me, give me money, whatever it is. For many of you, it's different. For a lot of you, it is tied to money. But come in and help me. Maybe we can have some sexual kinkery, but then leave me alone. Some of you have been chained to the devil. Because the devil card is all about hedonism. Chained to someone dark, something dark. It's not of light. It's not of true unconditional love. It's out of manipulation, codependency. But you've been chained to that because you've had false words, false promises. The person has been deceptive. They have not portrayed who they truly are. They have not portrayed and shared with you what they truly want and desire. They lead you on. They pull you in. They entice you. And then once you get there, you find out that that's not really what they want. It's this push-pull, push-pull. But it's about to come to a complete ending. This card can also talk about, us being self-destructive because we refuse to let something go. And that's where many of you are. You have been doing a whole lot of destruction to your life in all areas. You've been stuck in all areas of life. You've been miserable, but you've been self-imploding. You have been doing that to yourself because, again, you have all this stuff prepared for something beautiful, but you don't let her go. You have clung on way too long. So they're coming in to help you. The Calvary's coming. And it is a very ugly relationship. Now, this is another card that upright would be beautiful. It really would. Upright, this is all about a very strong connection. True love. You see how they're like bound together with these ribbons? They do that in some, wedding ceremonies. When the two have completed their vows, they will entwine them in ribbon. It's to signify that they have come together as one. They are one. But this is a fulfilling relationship. This is deep love. This is true love. This is a deep bond. In reverse, this is a very destructive, toxic relationship that's filled with jealousy and obsession and manipulation and control and playing games with each other. Because it's total games of, okay, come see me. Okay, no, I don't want you. I'm going to go to somebody else. Okay, come see me. Let's build a home together. No, I don't want you here. For some of you, she's purposefully started fights and arguments with you to push you away. And then she'll pull you back in. And then she'll start arguments and fights over something silly. Just simply the purpose is to push you away and get you away from her. Many of you, you are not in the same physical location. You are physically distant from each other. But instead of having a beautiful relationship filled with actual true love, it's not filled with true love. It's filled with mistrust and fear and abuse and manipulation. And in both parties have been stifled because of it, have been held back because of it. Because let's be honest, she doesn't want a relationship long-standing with you. She doesn't want to build a life with you. She does not want to build a family with you. She has no intentions of doing that. She does like the financial support you provide. Some of you, she does enjoy the sex. She enjoys your support. She enjoys that when she calls you, you will come run into her rescue immediately. She knows that you will drop anything and anyone that you have. Because for some of you, you did try to move on in the past. You do have this Queen of Swords. You tried to move on, and oh no, she pulled you right back. She's like, because again, she doesn't want anyone else to have you. And the moment she calls, oh, you come running to her side. She kind of likes that. She likes that she can manipulate you and control you. She likes that you're going to come running to her side at her beck and call. Come, minion, do as I please. But I'm not really going to let you in. I'm not really going to tell you that I don't really want you. It's control, it's game. And it hasn't been fair to you. But you have not taken off those rose-colored glasses. You have not given up. You have not let go. It has been a hardship and a struggle for you the entire time. But the time has come. Now I'm going to, we'll pull clarifiers in the middle row real quick. Okay, and we're going to pull one for the entire row up here and one for the entire row down here. And then we'll go over those. Okay, so we'll start with the Page of Wands. We have the Fox, and the Fox is all about manipulation, things going on behind our backs, secrets being taken advantage of. We have the Mice. Mice are all about worry, loss, losing something. You know, they steal what you value. They steal things from you. Now, the interesting thing, when these two cards are together, this is about people who are thick as thieves. And then you have the Snake. And this is not pretty. There are some not pretty cards in this deck, and you have 3 of them. All in a row. And the Snake. And the Snake it's about challenges and complications and delays, and someone that's self-absorbed, someone that is very selfish, jealousy. And this is on the Page of Wands. Very interesting. Okay. So, You know, 8, we talk about the number 8 a lot, and 8 being infinity. It is, I don't know if we have it in any of these. I don't think we do. But 8 is, you know, infinity throughout all of eternity. Unconditional love, never-ending love. And many of you thought she was your soulmate. You thought eternal love, unconditional love. See how the snake's almost in the shape of an 8? You thought, I'm going to keep trying because she's my divine love. She's my soulmate. Many of you thought she truly was your soulmate. And some of you very well, things were great when you first met years ago. Some of you many years ago. Some of you like 10, 20 years? No, some of you like 20 plus years ago. And for some of you, it was good when you first met. But it went downhill quickly. Some of you, she is a false twin. So what happens before we meet a twin flame? We will meet someone who is a false twin. What the false twin is, and so for those of you that are divine masculine that are watching this, you have awakened enough. Many of you have come to the point of knowing that the Queen of Swords, this person from your past, is your twin flame, your divine love, the one you're meant to be that you've turned away from. What you found that had some of you scared and worried is the way you felt around her was similar to the way that you first felt when you met her. So for some of you, it freaked you out. You have this feeling of, oh my gosh, I feel like it's meant to be. But that is common with twin flames and also twin souls. You will meet someone before you meet your twin that is, they have very similar characteristics in the beginning. Now what happens with your false twin is very quickly it goes downhill and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is a nightmare. But then you'll meet your twin and it starts off the same way. It's very intense, very, oh my gosh, like a kismet meant to be. This is the love of a lifetime. This is eternal love. But because you were burnt so bad by her and you haven't let her go, when she rolled into the picture, you had those feelings and you're like, oh crap. No, I remember how this went down. I'm still living this all the time. No, and you pushed her away. You pushed her away. And for some, she held on for a while. And then see how she's out in the cold and she's in the snow, and eventually she just moved forward. But oh, that's funny. Okay. She was your false twin. She was your false twin. So for some of you, that's funny. Okay. So twin flames. Okay. We'll go down a rabbit hole real quick because some of you need to hear the rabbit hole. Okay. Twin flames and twin souls. They're the same soul. They're one. They truly are one. The only difference is people ask me sometimes, twin flames are angels in human bodies. They're angels incarnated. Twin souls are every other type of being incarnated. They could be humans, they could be fairies, whatever. I mean, they're all different types of soul types. We have soul types that are demonic looking dragon things, okay? So any other type of soul that's incarnated as a twin soul, essentially the twin that's their other half. That's what the twin means. That truly are the same soul. They're the same soul. One is masculine, one is feminine. They are truly each other's other half. They truly complete each other. It is an eternal connection. It is in the Bible when it talks about what God has brought together, let no man separate. That is talking about twins. They have been divinely put together. They are each other's other half. Twins cannot ever be separated. Even if you are not incarnated in this lifetime with your twin, because everybody has a twin, be it twin soul, twin flame. Not everybody has their twin on earth at this time with them, but they are together throughout all of eternity. They are never broken apart. And those of you that are going through states of feeling separated from your twin, you're never separated from your twin ever. You're always going to feel them. You're always going to wish the best for them. You're always going to love them because that connection never goes away. So what they're saying is, for some of you, it's interesting because you did meet her right before you met her. So say, for example, those of you that maybe this was 20 some years ago, maybe you met her in college, and maybe you started your first job out of college. So, and maybe at this new job, maybe she was there, but maybe the two of you never met. It's interesting, as twins, being the same soul, they will have parallel lifetimes. So what happens is they will frequently work at the same company. So maybe if they work at restaurants, maybe one works at a Cheddar's on one side of town and one works at a Cheddar's on the other side of town. Or maybe they work for the same company. I know my twin and I, interestingly, we both started working at Honda in the same location in Marysville like 20 years ago. And not only did we start the same month, but I believe it was also the same day. We both started. Now, of course, it's, Honda makes automobiles. It's huge, huge plant. We never physically met, but we were physically at the same location. We may have probably should have met, but we didn't. And I only did that for a brief time, and I left for basic training. But they have parallel lifetimes. They'll have similar career fields. They always have the same views, the same beliefs. It's kind of like when they meet each other, it's like, wow, it's like I met my bestie, like you're like me. Well, that's because they are you. They are you. They are everything you've ever wanted and dreamt of. They aren't something to be afraid of. They're you. They're you. When you love yourself enough to not put up with this crap, you get to be with them. Maybe if they've not moved on. That's just a caveat for some of you. But even if they have moved on, you're always going to be one. You're always going to be connected. You're always going to have this connection. But you're very similar. So for some of you, maybe you met this Queen of Pentacles 10, 20 years ago. And, you met her and it was just amazing. You're like, oh man, I'm going to marry this gal. And you did. But little did you know that maybe you were working at Applebee's. And this Queen of Swords, who's your destined fated, who truly is your twin, who truly is your other half, who's the one that is going to bring you joy and happiness, she was working at Applebee's too. And you were both working off and on at the same location, but you never ran into each other and you never met. You should have met her, but you didn't, because what happens with twins, you will always meet, and both of you, it happens on both sides. So masculine, this is all about you, so we're going to keep this on you, but she met a false twin too before she met you. And that person she thought was her meant to be as well. For some of you, she married him. She divorced him. For some of you, she almost married him. But same thing, it went downhill very quickly because, again, you're mirrors. You go through the same stuff together. And when you finally start talking, you'll get to see that. Because many of you, she's the unknown. You don't know that much about her. You don't really believe it. You have a sense that she could be everything to you, but you're so terrified and freaked out by it, you pushed her away. But if and when you start to have those conversations, because you have telepathic communications already if you're twins. Like if she almost has an accident or something happens to her, you feel it, you hear her. You do speak and communicate telepathically. She does the same for you. So a lot of the stuff that you're afraid to share with her, she already knows. So for those of you that are afraid to have a conversation because, oh crap, she's going to find out I was still married, or I was still in a commitment, I was still stuck to this one, and she's not going to have anything to do with me, she already knows. Twins are very opened up spiritually. They're very telepathic. They already know those things about each other. She already knows. Let the cat out of the bag. She already knows. It'll make things easier if you open and communicate. And it won't be as difficult as you think of a conversation because she knows. But back to the similarities. So you meet this person who you think is you're meant to be. Within a number of months, maybe even right before you marry her, you start working at the same location at this Queen of Swords, who's your twin, who's the person you're meant to be with. But you both went separate directions. And to learn things, to go on that path, lessons, things that you both had to learn that are similar. So now you come back together and you finally meet at a later date. But she kind of reminds you of her. That's because they're complete opposites. You've got light, you've got dark, you've got unconditional love, you have something that is not love. If you look at the cards, you have the Lover's card, you have the Devil, complete opposites. You know, you see the cartoons where you've got the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other shoulder. They are complete opposites. And you don't know that. But the thing that has had you stuck is when you met her, you thought she was your eternal love, your divine love. But she is not. This is not a full 8. You see, the snake is about ready to bite its own tail. It's forbidden fruit. So although you have tried repeatedly to go back and work it out and work it out and work it out, you've constantly been bitten. Bitten, hurt. You've been lied to. You've had things stolen. There's been cheating. There's been manipulation. You have been taken advantage of. You have been used. Someone has selfishly used you. And they were able to get away with it because you kept thinking, oh, they're the one. They're the one. But it's interesting because, you know what I was saying? It's interesting because this is a snake. It's a snake slithering out of her sleep. And then you have this snake. And then you have, she's like a snake whisperer. She's playing the flute to charming snakes. So for many of you, you have been pulled in repeatedly by her. Oh, she plays the tune and the music. Just what it takes. She knows how to push your buttons. She knows how to pull you in. Many of you, she plays on this love. Because for you, it was love. But again, when we're looking at polar opposites, the two of you wanted totally polar opposite things. She just wanted assistance, financial assistance, emotional assistance. It wasn't coming from love. It was coming from selfishness. It was coming from an image. You wanted love. But she was able to play and pull you in, and every time. So what's happening right now is you have discovered, some of you in the past, you had discovered that there were lies, deceit, manipulation. It's not the first time that you discovered that, but the two of you pulled away from each other. You went forward trying to do your thing. Okay. We got the letter. This is all about written communication. We have the mountain. This is, you can speak of distance, but it's also, you know, climbing that mountain, something that's difficult, something that's a heavy burden, a block, an obstacle, a delay, something that we cannot easily get over. And then we have the coffin, and this is all about endings, like endings that should have happened but did not happen. They're like way beyond their prime, but it's total finality, total completion. They're saying the mountain can also sometimes represent feeling alienated. You see how this deer is all by himself? It can also speak of an enemy. An enemy. And this is on the Eight of Pentacles. And remember, the Eight of Pentacles is all about working really hard, focusing on something. So when you receive this information about her, and you kind of both went to your separate corners like boxers, you know, you finished up that round. Okay, we're going to go back to our corners and we're going to regroup. You went to regrouping and focusing on work, focusing on anything and everything else, but you didn't let that karmic cycle complete. You didn't let it go full circle to totally end. You didn't allow that because you were holding on. You were clinging hard. And she was clinging too. Different reasons for her clinging, but you were both clinging. Which is why you've not been able to fully move on. You have not been able to totally end this, complete this. And you are at a physical distance. So for some of you, you are going to be receiving some written communications in the very near future that are going to be coming in from a distance that are going to be, they're going to finally put the nail in that coffin. They're going to finally end this, the information that's coming in. But you haven't, you know, for some of you, you just not want to deal with it. You know, they were saying call attorneys, do paperwork, sign things, do something. Many of you haven't wanted to do that. You focused on anything but bringing this to an ending. But maybe for some of you, it is paperwork coming in from the courts. It could be the the disillusion, the ending, so for some of you, you are going to be getting your legal paperwork. The disposition is going to be coming in. And that's finally going to end all this. Some of you, you've been waiting for that to happen. For some of you, you've been waiting for so long, you've started to even rethink this. But it's about to come in. Praise God. It's about to come in and set you free. Put you on a new path. Now on the 10 of Cups, we have the heart, and that's all about, love. It can also be the Jack of Hearts on some cards, which it is marked right there, the Jack of Hearts. Now, Jack of Hearts is not necessarily good. The Jack of Hearts, he's young, he's a Jack. Could be a Jack, complete that with 3-letter yourself. But because he plays women, he plays the field, he's non-committal. He will get women to swoon and fall in love. It's kind of like the Knight of Wands. He will get women to quickly fall in love, or the Knight of Cups, rather. Yeah, Knight of Cups. Get women to fall in love with him, but as soon as he comes in and loves them, he leaves them. Then we have the Clover. And the Clover, it's luck, fortune, but it's also brief luck. Things going well for a very brief time. With this deck, long-term luck is the Sun card. But this is brief, very short-lived. And then we have the Man. This is also taking a risk, taking a gamble. Then we have the Man. And this is on the 10 of Cups. And again, this is your current situation. So for some of you, when you went to your separate corners to regroup from the Queen of Pentacles, this is about a couple that's incompatible. Things are not going well. There's disharmony. There's arguments. One person is all in and committed and wanting it. The other person does not want it. One person is seeing things with rose-colored glasses and, oh man, this is going to be the love of a lifetime. We're going to make this work. We're going to get together. We're going to build a family. Oh, this is going to be amazing. And the other one's like, I'm just here for the food. I'm just here for the sex. Or I'm just here so I'm not alone in drinking my misery every night. So for some of you, in order to take your focus off of the separation with the Queen of Pentacles, in order to not be lured back in, you started a new relationship. But it's kind of like a Jack of Hearts. You weren't really into it. You really didn't want it. It's short-lived. And so for some of you right now, that's kind of soured. And for some of you, you know how they were saying earlier, you feel like you're in a catch-22 situation. You had a relationship with this person where it was fun. Some of you, she has kids. You're not committed to kids. You don't, because you weren't in it for that, and that's okay. If you jump into a relationship with someone because you're trying to heal your heart, you're trying to not think about an ex, you're just trying to have fun and enjoy it, that's okay. The time that it becomes that it's not okay is if you allow that person to believe that it's more. If you allow her to think, or him, if you allow them to think that, okay, I'm coming to this relationship because I want to build this family with you. I want to build this solid foundation. Oh, I really see this as happily ever after. I really see this, becoming long-term. So if you jump into the relationship and make her believe that, and that is never your intentions, kind of like her. She gets you pulled in with things, makes you think this is the love of a lifetime, it's going to work, but that's not her intentions. So for some of you, you're in a sticky situation because you pulled a third person into this party. You were not honest with her up front that, hey, this is fun. I'm enjoying this together. I'm enjoying having fun, enjoying hanging out. But that's all this is. This is just fun. I'm not going to commit to this. I'm not going to commit to you. I'm not going to commit to your kids. We're just going to have fun. We're going to enjoy each other. And that's it. And for some of you that are twins, that's you've now added some extra karma that you have to clear and get rid of. But when you're honest and forthright and upfront, it's okay for everybody because y'all knew the deal going into it. But for some of you, you were not honest and forthright with what the situation was when you went into this relationship. So some of you are like, dang, I'm gonna have to have a conversation with her, and I'm gonna have to have a conversation with her. Oh my gosh. I just don't think I can do this. I'm just going to bury my head in the sand and do nothing. And you were having a good time with her, but it was very short-lived. But that's Jack of Hearts. You're like, I'm going to jump in. When I jump in, whatever woman I'm currently with, I'm all in with her. You were all in. You were all about it. Some of you were even like images. You wanted to give images to everyone that, oh, this is love of a lifetime. I'm going to post her pictures everywhere. I'm going to sell her to my family and friends, because you were all in. But it was very, very short time. And now it's not going well. You really want to exit. Some of you are kind of even trying to do what she has done to you, where you're trying to start some arguments to get her to break up with you. Sometimes we have to do things that aren't comfortable. You're going to have that conversation. So for those of you that came in and didn't have the conversation, didn't lay the standards, it's kind of like laying the bed. Now you get to lie in it. But it helps you learn. It helps you learn so that in a future relationship, if you go into a relationship with someone else and it's just fun, you'll be honest with them. Or if, like for some of you, you weren't honest with the Queen of Swords. You didn't tell her that there was a Queen of Pentacles. Some of you, you didn't tell her you were married. You didn't tell her you were engaged. You did not tell her that information. That's what got you in a bad situation with her. That's what got things... Some of you ended things and cut things with her because you didn't want to own up to what you had done. For some of you, you've now lost the love, true love of your lifetime because of your actions. Our actions have consequences. But that's also how we learn. We learn to not do those things. We learn to be honest with people. We learn to be forthright with people. If you want to go into a relationship with someone, just have fun and sex and hang out, it's okay. It's cool. As long as you have that conversation, let them know, hey, here's the ground rules going in. Then they can decide. She can decide. She can decide. They can decide whether they want to do that or not. Like, no, I'm not in for that. Or, yeah, let's do it. Woohoo, let's go get some pom-poms. But give them the opportunity to decide if they're doing that or not. It's not fair otherwise. And then otherwise, then you get to the other end, and now you're like, that's why some of you are stuck, because you're like, I need to have a conversation here. I need to have a conversation here. I just don't want to deal with any of it. I just want it all to go away. But you have help. You do have help. You're surrounded by help. Again, remember, you've got your whole team. They've got everything ready to build you a beautiful castle. They do. They're there. They're going to help you with this. They're going to help you through it. They're going to help you have these conversations. They're going to help you free yourself. They're going to help you clear the air. They will help you with those conversations. They will help you with those closures. Allow them to help you. For many of you, they've been giving you signs. Take the steps. Allow them. Take the steps. Then we won't have to hear this again next week or the following week. They're saying, for those of you that are out there that keep hearing this message and it's not for you, they just said, don't worry, you're not going to have to hear this much longer. And that's why they're giving so much detail this week, because they're hoping, for those of you that are in this situation, that this will be the signs for you to finally help you break free of it. Because you've been wanting to break free of it. You have. You have. But so for some of you took a gamble with this new gal. Great, fun, good time, short-lived. Others of you, the other thing that they're saying with that is, you see how he's kind of like looking? He's looking back. He's looking at that snake charmer. She's trying to pull him in to burst his bubble again. Come here. Let me play with your snake. And he's like, ooh, I don't know. Maybe we would have luck this time. Maybe this time things would turn around. Maybe this time we could work this out. Maybe this time she'll take off that mask. Maybe this time we can have true luck in love. We can have true happiness. I mean, it looks good, and I'm lonely. And look how disheveled I am. I don't have any shoes. My shirt's dirty. I've got 5 o'clock stubble. My hair's kind of everywhere. I've been grabbing a hold of my hair on worry and frustration. Maybe that can all change and it can be beautiful. So maybe I'll go get pulled back in again. Because maybe it will be lucky. Some of you are holding on to this hope. You are the ones wearing the rose-colored glasses. You are the ones that are committed. You are the ones that have been loyal. It's misplaced loyalty. You have given your loyalty to the wrong person. Again, this is not a divine love. This is nothing but a snake who will bite you every single time. They are kind of like a forbidden fruit. It's interesting because when they talk about the forbidden fruit in the Bible, there were fallen angels and taking a bite of the forbidden fruit. It actually has sexual context of fallen angels having sex with humans. Maybe someday, if you all are interested in that stuff, put a comment below and I can do an educational video on that one day. It kind of blew my mind when they gave me all that information. But it was humans having sex with fallen angels, a forbidden fruit, sexual the snake, something that should not be done. That's what this relationship is with her. Forbidden fruit, twisted, sick tree, twisted relationship, dark. Not to be done. But the thing is with those things, they can deceive you. They can give you an illusion that things are one way when they're not, because they're wearing masks. They're false. So it's easy for you to be delusional because you're being pitched a story that's not true. But for those of you in this situation, you've been pitched this story for way too long. And you've believed it for way too long. It is time to remove the glasses. It is time to face the future. It's time to let it go. You won't have this luck. Essentially, what they're saying with this is it's not going to be lucky. It's not going to turn around. Every time that you have gone back to her, if you look back over the years, every time you've gone back, yeah, things were good. You're like, man, we're going to work this out. This is going to be great. We're like best friends and lovers and business partners. And we have a bunch of finance and real estate and all this together. Oh man, we are going to build the life, the life that everyone wants. We're going to do that. And it's beautiful for a very short time, short-lived. And you go back to your separate corners. Just take a look at that. Take a look at it. Okay, now let's pull one card. This is for the top row. The key. Of course, it's the key. She's the key. Now, I'm actually going to read. I have this little book that's got some sayings, and they're wanting me to read. It's like a little poem. They want me to read you this little poem for the key. Okay. The key. There's this rose. The key that sets you free. So it says, entrusted to reveal or locked away, a door to open or a breakthrough rare, answers, resolutions, destiny at play, life's purpose or an answer to a prayer. She was the answer to your prayer. The key is all representative of, a solution, the answer to your problem, the opening, the thing that will free you. The key also, when you get this card and it's near a person, it's representative of that person being the person that's notable, the person that is essential, the person that is the key person to freeing you, the key person to solving this situation, the key person to bringing you happiness, the key person to turn things around. So say, for example, this card also talks about, things definitely being yeses. So say, for example, you had this card with a house. That would be a yes, definitely that is the house for your security and stability. That is the home that you go to. This card being with the Queen of Swords, the Sun, and the Unknown card, what this is saying is that she is definitely the key to freeing your heart. She is the key to love. She is the key that will set you free and uncage you. For some of you, you feel like you have been chained to her. So for some of you, you haven't been happy. You've acknowledged that things were not well. You've wanted to set yourself free. That's actually how you met her. Because they're saying for many of you, you actually met her during a break from her, which was a destined fated thing. Which had you let her go at that point, you would have had happiness then. Some of you, she's a mother of your child or children. You have kids with her, with the Queen of Swords. Interesting. Look at her long blonde hair. It's clear past her booty. But she's happy. She's joyful. But mother of your kids, children. But she's the key. Those of you that they were saying you do feel change. And when you look at the traditional tarot, the devil, they're chained together. It's not the Lover's card. You've felt chained. You've not known how to free yourself. How do I free myself? How do I get out of this? How do I find bliss and joy and happiness? How do I find someone that wants to help carry the load, who wants to truly be a partner, who will support me as much as I will support them, who will give to me as much as I will give them? That was her. She was that key, unknown to you. Now, for this row, let's just do one. The choice. Okay, we're going to read the poem for the choice too. Okay, so apologies, this is going to be long because they have that stack of cards we're going to be doing. So break it up into 2 sections. Okay, let's see here. So, one more. Paths. Okay. Paths, choice. Okay. The path divides into 2, which way to go. A dilettante who cannot choose one way, restless drifter or footloose and fancy free, at life's crossroads or traveling hopefully. And a dilettante is someone that is non-committal. You know, they will begin something, they'll start something, they'll start to grow something, cultivate something that interests them, with no real intentions to commit to it. So for many of you, she would start this new beginning with you every time, and you would just come to her beck and call. She'd like snap her fingers and you'd be there. It didn't matter who you were with. It didn't matter how much you had tried to move on, tried to let her go. The second she snaps those fingers, yes, pool boy, you are here to do my bidding. But she did that by giving false hope, false claims that this would turn into something beautiful, false promises of love, even false promises of commitment. So some of you even actually physically moved or tried to move because, again, of what you were being told, the story you were being fed. And then she spurred this argument and you guys went your separate corners, and because she's never going to commit to it. She's never going to commit to you. She hasn't. She's not going to. You've hoped that she would for years. And even for those of you that are married, but I get most of you, okay, so some of you were married. So like you divorced and you're back together. Some of you are married. But even if you are married, you're still like in different locations. She's not committal. She doesn't want to be in it. Wants the luxuries of it. Wants the image of it. She likes the image of it. But it's unconventional. It's not a conventional it's not a normal relationship. This is not a marriage. This is not a relationship. Some of you, she likes it because she can give the image that she's in a committed relationship because she has an alternative lifestyle, things that she doesn't want people to know about. Some of you, maybe that's what you're about to find out. That's what she's kept hidden. But she's not going to commit. She never has. She's not going to. Even for those of you that may still be in a marriage or contract with her, it's not the commitment that you want. It's not this happy family. It's not this true love. But it's about decisions and choices, really looking at the pros and cons of things, you know, going from one path down another path. Now, again, this is your future row. And this is just clarifying it all. You're about to get some information that's going to send you down a new path. That's going to, so for some of you, this decision. A number of you actually have been waiting on a decision to be made. You've been waiting on a decision for her to decide whether or not she wants to move forward with you. You have been waiting on a decision from the courts. You've been waiting on a decision maybe from your lawyers. Maybe you're just, you know, splitting up assets and you just have your lawyers doing it for you. But you have been waiting for the decision to come in. Which way are we going? Are we moving forward or are we not? Or are we finally closing this? Is this finally going to be over? So I can move down another path. You can move down another path. You've been waiting on the decision. The decision is about to come in. And when this decision comes in, for some of you, some additional information about deceptions coming in simultaneously. When it comes in, it's going to finally end this and set you free. It's about money. Okay. Go figure. 34, this is fish. Fish, it's all about money, exchange, contracts, investments, business. The decision, the core root of the decision. So for some, do I stay or do I go? If it's being made by her, okay, so maybe you've asked her, okay, no joke, you decide, are we doing this or are we not doing this? Girls, are you in or are you not in? The core root of her decision is finances, money. Do I stay in with him for money or not? It's not love, it's not the heart, it's not the ring, it's money. For some of you, it's a decision you're trying to make. Do I go back with her? Do I try to make this work out? Because same thing, money. I've invested so much. I've invested heavily. I don't know if I want to lose everything or lose half of it. But it's money. And then for others that you're waiting on, like court paperwork, stuff from your attorneys, it's again all about money, investments, assets. That's all it is. So the decision to be with Queen of Pentacles, it's not founded on love. It's been a burden to bear. Okay, let's get these out of the way. We're going to do your clarifiers real quick. See, this is how I get cards upside down. Okay. I don't take my time when putting them back in the deck, and then I just start to shuffle. Okay, there we go. Those are all upright. Okay, let's get these out of your way. We're just going to do some, hopefully quick. Get that upright. Do some quick recommendations that the angels have. We're going to wrap a bow on this real quick. Your reading for next week's actually going to be completed and posted early. If I have time, I'll record it this weekend. It should be posted by Wednesday because I am going out of town. I'm actually going to go to the thing in Springboro with a couple friends, and some of them are part of my soul family. Going to get to hang out with them. Going to go to the drumming thing and the channeling thing. It's going to be awesome. So, and then we have a big Halloween party on Saturday night. So I'm going to have to get you guys taken care of before I leave. Okay. So what we have, these are their recommendations. So for those of you, you'll be super excited. You're going to get your reading next week on Wednesday, for next week on Wednesday. Okay. So these are the recommendations that the angels have. You have change and transition, manifestation power, angel of pleasure, angel of new life, mending bridges, and listening with your heart. First card, change and transition, Archangel Azrael. At the bottom it says, thank you, Azrael, for leading me safely through this change. See how he has the phoenix on his chest? This is really about rising up from the ashes, getting, when you're on rock bottom, you're laying on the floor, getting up and rising, moving through things. Now, actually, they're going to have me read that. Let me get this book. Okay, they're going to have us read a couple of them. Okay. So, you're going through some changes right now, and you may not be enjoying them. But please be assured that they are for your highest good. Change is a natural process, and we are constantly moving through different levels. Move these down so I don't have to hold them. Moving through different levels of development and experience so we can grow. Allow yourself to relax, knowing the angels are supporting you through these changes. Change can be a challenging process, especially if you fight it. Know that you are supported at this time and that the changes really are bringing blessings into your life. You may be faced with a feeling of fear and not knowing what the next stage is, but there are plenty of doors opening and opportunities being presented to you. Allow yourself to let go and welcome the new and exciting energy life is bringing to you. And Azrael helps God. He's the angel that's known to be the one who helps God. He is like the phoenix. He will help you rise above your challenges. He will help you get back into a positive situation. He will help things turn around. Miss Allie. Shh. It's bad that they can always tell when I'm wrapping up your readings. Okay, next we have manifestation power. At the bottom it says, use your spiritual gifts and natural abilities to attract your desired outcome. Manifestation is really important. Our thoughts really do create a reality. So for some of you, this change that you're going through, you don't want it. You've not wanted it. You've not wanted to face it. You've not wanted to deal with it. Some of you have been feeling like a victim. Some of you have been feeling like you're controlled and manipulated and you're a victim of that Queen of Pentacles or whomever it is for you. But this is reminding you have the power to change things. You have the power to change things. Because if we go around complaining about our situation, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she did this, and I can't believe she keeps lying to me, and I can't believe she keeps, deceiving me and doing these things. What you do is we get more of that. We attract more of that. Those things that we don't want, we get more of it. So if we keep complaining about someone who doesn't love us and doesn't care for us and doesn't give and is manipulative and controlling and hurtful, we just keep getting more of that. They will continue to treat us like that. But also when we're complaining about somebody that's doing those things, what we're doing is we're giving them our power. We're giving them power over us. Versus just accepting, like, okay, well, that's not working for me. They're not giving me what I want. So I'm going to let it go. And then start thinking about what you do want. Okay, I do want love. I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy of giving love. I'm worthy of receiving love. I'm worthy of divine love. And doing even positive affirmations. What that's going to do is, if you're setting your manifestation, if you're setting your goals, your visions, your prayers for the things that you desire, I want unconditional love. I want someone who's going to love me no matter what. I want someone who's going to be a partner and assist me. That partner who's toxic, who's not giving you those things, what's going to happen is you set your intentions for what you want. And the person who's not ever going to give you those things, who's never going to be that person, you'll just find they're going to fall up out of your life. Let them fall. Let them go. Because what happens, you put out your intentions of, here's what I want. I want an amazing love. I want someone I can build a life with, enjoy, go on adventures with. When you put those intentions out, they're going to take away the person who's not going to be that person for you. And then they're going to bring in the person who will. So when they try to remove the toxic person, don't keep clinging to them like, oh, damn, this is all I know. No, don't go in there. Oh, they're going to take some of my money too. No, let them go. Let them go, because God is trying to bring you the very thing that you've been asking for. Let them help you. And also stop playing the victim. Stop giving her or him your power. Just think about what you want and let it happen. Now, the next card we have is the Angel of Pleasure. Are these close enough that you can see them? Yeah. So the Angel of Pleasure. At the bottom it says, take pleasure in the things you do. And this is all about you having pleasure. You enjoying those things, because it's not all about all work and no play. Because if we're constantly working hard and we're trying to achieve something, trying to get something done, we never have any fun. We never enjoy life. Those of you in a situation, you have done nothing but work for that relationship. You've worked very hard to make that relationship happen. It wasn't bringing you joy. It wasn't fulfilling you. It was fulfilling them. But it was nothing but work for you. See, you've even got these fish. See, these fish are jumping out of the water to try and get the food that she has. Fish represent money, resources. You've got that big moon behind her. Moon is like lack of clarity, not knowing the truth. These fish are trying to jump up out to grab her food, her resources. So you have not had pleasure because you have done and given everything that you have to the partner that they're removing for you. The toxic partner. They're doing that so you can start to enjoy life, so you can start to have pleasure. You can enjoy things. And you can enjoy things that make you happy, because it hasn't made you happy. It's been one-sided. But you see that the moon is directly above her head, and she's got this star on her forehead, which is where our third eye is. You intuitively know that this is not good for you. You intuitively know that you are simply being used for what you can offer, what you can give. You're being robbed of your assets, your time, your money, and even your love. You want to offer your love to someone who's going to appreciate it, who's going to appreciate you and value. The person that you have been working so hard for, they don't even appreciate you and value you. So they're trying to get you to someone who does, out of this situation. Now, the next card we have is the Angel of New Life. And you notice both of these cards, there's two full moons. So for those of you in this situation, all around, there has been confusion, there has been lack of communication, there are things that are hidden, there's deception, there are things that have not been shared. It's very important to clear the air on all sides. At the bottom it says, an exciting new chapter in your life is about to unfold. And you want me to read that one? The angel of new life is here to announce that a new chapter of your life is about to unfold. Over the coming days and weeks, you will begin to feel a sense of renewed clarity, purpose, and direction. New magical and exciting things begin to happen as you are intuitively guided to explore new avenues and possibilities for your life. Through this process, you will uncover aspects of yourself that you didn't know you had. Embrace this new and exciting period in your life and know that the past is now behind you. Your life is forever changing, and you are forever evolving to ever greater spheres of love and light through the wondrous spheres of creation. Enjoy the journey and all the blessings coming your way. Yay! That's good stuff. Okay, last two that we have is mending bridges. And at the bottom it says, I heal rifts, I am a mender. See how you get these dual faces? Twin flames. Let's read that real quick. Some of you, it's mending bridges with that, your twin, your other half, because they're one. They're merged as one. Okay. Heal old wounds with respect to people and situations. Carefully do whatever you feel is necessary to make amends. You are a mender. Help others mend bridges in their lives. The universe wants you to know there are times to drop everything and leave, and there are times to carefully mend bridges with people, situations, and places. This is one of those healing times. Maybe there is a wound inside of you that needs to be forgiven or accepted. Transform the inner grievance. Do it now, for you no longer need to carry it with you. Perhaps there is a person from your past with whom you should reconnect. You know that you know what you need to do. Take action now. That's funny. Well, at least they've been consistent with their messages. Okay, last one. Listening with your heart. I trust the messages I receive from my heart. And you have the Merkaba on that. And we're going to read that one because apparently they want your messages to be really long this week. Nah. Usually when they want these things read, there's some stuff in it that's going to trigger some aha epiphanies for all of you. Okay. The heart knows what the mind cannot uncover. Trust the messages you receive from your heart. Angels and guides are communicating with you. In sweet, soft stillness, listen to their gentle whispers. The universe wants you to know if you're facing a decision and your mind says one thing, but your heart says another, follow the dictations of your heart and you'll be on the right path. If you get a nudge to speak with someone or go any particular direction, don't hesitate. Follow the guidance. Whatever you feel challenged and you don't know where to turn, quiet your mind and listen with your heart. The correct path will appear, for spirit wants to speak to you. There's a message for you right now. Watch the signs and the messages will unfold effortlessly. Back to that star on her forehead. Intuition. When we get intuitive information, it's information from the heart. And oftentimes when we get intuitive information, it doesn't make sense to our logical mind. But it's because it's our heart guiding us. It's the truth guiding us. It's God. It's the angels. It's divine guiding us to what will truly fulfill us and make us happy. Some of you have to make a heart over mind decision. Maybe that logical side of you is like, well, if I end things, I'm going to lose a lot of money. Or if I end things, I'm going to, lose something I've been working toward for years. I've given everything to this. I've lost friends over this. I've had my family upset with me over this. By God, I'm going to see it to the end. It's that logical side, but your heart knows this. It's not right. It's not working. It's not making you happy. It's not fulfilling you. Your heart, those of you in a situation, your heart's been leading you in a different direction. But you haven't trusted that other direction because it also doesn't make sense to your logical mind. So for some of you that have met a twin, to feel that close and connected to somebody, to feel like you're one, feel like, oh my gosh, it feels like it's meant to be. Your logical mind can't wrap around that. It's like, I barely know this person. We only spent a little bit of time together. We don't really, I mean, how can I have such a strong connection to them? How can I feel so close to them? How can someone feel like my home when I don't even know them? I don't know this fool. I don't know her. I don't know him. But my soul's telling me otherwise. For those of you, your soul's telling you otherwise. Your heart knows otherwise. Trust it. Trust it. You know, they were saying earlier they wanted me to share that lengthy story that drug this out for you about how twins have parallel paths. They'll start jobs. They'll do those things. You don't even know that because you won't have the conversations with her or him because you've gone in a different direction out of fear. It's time to listen to your heart. Your heart, the truth will set you free. So hopefully you will have the courage to do that. You all have beautiful things on the horizon. Hopefully you can do these things and you can end 2017 on the most freaking amazing, spectacular, magical note. You deserve it. You've been through hell. I mean, there's that country song that says, when you're going through hell, keep on going. You don't stop in the middle of hell. Some of you, you have stopped. You have stalled. You have fallen down on the ground in the middle of hell. But the faster you get through it, the faster you get on the other side. So just pick yourself up off the ground. You've only got a few more steps and you're going to clear it and you're going to be in the light. You are so close. You're so close. So get up and take those steps. They're helping you. Let them help you. Have the courage. They're saying have the courage because for some of you this has gone on for so long, and for some of you that's that catch-22, like, oh my gosh, this is all around bad. There's a whole lot of I have to fix. It's not going to be that hard. They'll help you. You have a whole team ready to help you. All you need to do is get up and do something. So hopefully you can do that. Hopefully you will end this on an amazing note this year and have the ability to say that, you know what, after I went through hell for 1, 2+ years, I have ended my year on the most amazing note, and life is now magical. Life is beautiful. You find people that have especially with twins. I mean, twins have a lot of challenges. That's the reason we have so many. I mean, some of us have some really, really bad stuff happen, challenges. It's not because we're being tortured by the divine. That's not it. It's because those experiences help us connect with others. Because if you're a twin, you're here to help each other. You're here to have compassion. You're here to help guide people and motivate people and love them and inspire them. You're also here to teach them what true love is. You're here to teach them that true love is something that's unconditional. It's someone's going to love you no matter what. It's kind of like how Jesus loves us, how our mama loves us. No matter what you do, they're still going to love you. You, as twins, are here to change that paradigm because up to this point, people marry and get in committed relationships for money because of codependency, because they feel like they have to. It's not from a place of just, I just love you. I just want to share life with you. You're helping change that for people, but you're here to help them heal, help them grow, help them develop. Going through what we look at as bad experiences, they're not bad. They help us grow. They help us develop. They help us be empathetic and compassionate when we are helping others with their journeys. Because when we've been through hell and we sit down with someone, we're like, girl, boy, I know what you're going through. I have been there. When I say I have been there, I mean I have been there in the pits of hell going through misery just like you. So when I tell you that you will get out on the other side, when I tell you that there is light at the end of the tunnel, trust me, I'm living it. That's what you are on the cusp of. You're about to be able to share your story to inspire, motivate, and help others. You're about to be able to say, oh my gosh, I went through all this, but look how beautiful things are now. All you got to do is take these final steps. So I do wish you an amazing week filled with a lot of love, joy, and blessings.